First discussion about Microsoft Excel, we discussed all the basics that you need to know. We talked about the basics, and today we are going to dive deeper into Microsoft Excel functions. So we have count, counter, countifs, XLOOKUPs, and stuff like that. So we will be talking about count, but when we talk about count basically count all the cells that has numbers in there. And there is a function called counter. What the counter does is it basically counts all the number of cells that have content. So whether it's been a number or it's been a text or irrespective of what is there, that is the work. So I just want to show you something here. We are going to perform basic operations here. So cell B is 1, cell C is 1. Manually, we can say equal to, that is 1 plus 1. We can say this is what, 2. All right. And we can also use Excel to just take the field. So you say that B, that is 1. Then you use the plus symbol. Then we take C. And it's going to give us the same 2, right? Good. So if you want to do for subtraction, we know that 2 minus 1 equals what? 1. Every function in Excel begins with equal to sign, so you have to pay attention to that. Or you can use equal to, then you use the cell that is B3 plus, then you choose this cell that is what? C3. If you hit enter, it is going to, sorry, I made a mistake. It is this 2, then minus, not plus 1. Then it's going to give us 1, as we saw. So for multiplication, we can say that if you have 2 and you are multiplying it by 2, you and I know this is going to give us 4. So the multiplication is the asterisk sign that is in Excel. This is going to give us 4. If you use equal to, then take B4, then we multiply B4 by this, we can still also get what? 4. You know that our division equal to, then we do 4 divided by 2, we are going to get 2. In the same way, if we do 4, then we use the divisible, this one by 2, we are still going to get it. So what I want you to know is, whichever way, either you type, even with this, you can say that, let me delete everything. You can even just type equal to, then the B2, you type it yourself. B4, it will select it. So this is B5, so it's going to select it for you. Then divisible by, then what? C5. You can do it like this. Whether small letters or capital letters, Excel is going to pick it for you. It doesn't matter. Okay. So whether you will type it yourself or you allow Excel to do it for you, that is basically how it works. Now, to talk about sum, if you have, let's say you want to sum whatever that is here, okay, you can do equal to, then you do, so this is B, this is from B2 to what? B5. Then you do B2 plus B3, then you do plus B4, okay, plus B5. It's going to give you the total. Or if you don't want to type it, you can just do equal to, then you select, you hit the plus, then you select, you hit the plus, you select, you hit the plus, you select. That's all. But this is very, very tedious. So what if you have a long row like this? Are you going to do that? No. So with this time around, you have to use the function that is sum. So we say equal to, then we type sum. Immediately you type sum, you just have to select the range. So you select the range, then you hit enter, it's going to sum for you. Okay, so that is basically how it is. So let's say you want to sum whatever that is here, and so you can say sum, then you will choose, let's say you want to sum from here, so this cell here is 18. If you put anything here, it's going to increase the number. If you put anything here, it's going to increase the number. So that is how the sum also works. Okay, so in this one, you are going to continue from the min function. So if you want to find the minimum, you just have to type equal to then minimum. then you have to select the range. So we want to find the minimum from B1 to B4. So you select B1 to B4, you close the bracket, you hit, then the minimum from B1 to B4 is what? 4. So now, if we need the maximum, we follow the same step. Find the maximum of B1 to B4, and when you enter, it's going to tell us that the maximum is what? 4. So this is how they work. Now let's look at count. So when you talk about count, the count basically counts all numbers that have, all the cells that have numbers in them. Then the counter counts all the cells that has content. So let me explain it with practice. If I do count, okay, now I want to count all the fields from B to this. Let me select for you to see. I want to count everything. You see that each column has 5 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 4 is going to be what? 20. If you hit enter, it is telling us that we have 18. It's giving us 18. Why? Because Kofi and Amma are not numbers. I told you the count cells that have only what? Numbers. So let's try the same cell with counter. Okay. So when you do counter, then you select the whole from B1 to E5. You see it is showing here. B1 to E5. It is showing here. If you finish and you hit enter, it's giving you 20. Meaning the counter will count all the cells as depending their based on the fact that they have something in the cells, right? So let's say if you choose this whole cell, we add this to it. You see this whole one and this, they are not having anything, right? So let's find counter. Then let's select this whole range and hit the enter. You have 21 because only this one add up. And if you do it for count 2, it is going to what? It's going to give us the same thing because they don't count empty cells, right? So this gives us 19 because these two are not numbers. You get it? So basically, that is how it works. All right. Now let's proceed with the average function. If you want to find the average, you just have to do equal to, then we type average. So then we are going to find the average of these 3 numbers. If you hit enter, it's basically going to add this one, E11, F11, G11, H11, and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide them by 4. That is the average. Okay. Now let's talk about the concatenate function. So I always advise you use concat. This is concat function. Let's use concatenate and see the difference. This is concatenate. It's older version. Do this, comma, then do sewa, hit enter. So this is there, it works. And if you do the concat 2, it is also going to what? Work. But this one is old. You see there's some sign around it that tells you it's old. Okay. I made a mistake in it. So it is the same thing. You just have to do equal to concat. Then you have to type Beatrice, then sewa. Once you type Beatrice, comma, not full stop, Beatrice, comma, sewa, it is going to do it for you, Beatrice, sewa. So that is basically our concat function. Okay, so in our next one we are going to talk about if, COUNTIF, XLOOKUP, and other stuff like that. So let us quickly go into that lesson. All right, so we are going to talk about if statements now. Okay, so you see we have this numbers 64, 80, 75 and stuff. Now we want to say that if the number is greater than 79, so let's say 80 and above, tell the person had A. If not, tell the person fail. So you start every function with equal to. So you say if, then you select. If this one, that is, you select the first value. If F14 is greater than, so let's say it's greater than 70, if it's greater than 70, what do you want to do? We want to give the person A. So then you close the bracket. Else, so the else is also separated by a comma. Else, we want to tell the person that you have what? Failed. So we tell the person fail. Then we close this bracket. Okay. So let me explain it again. Let me put it and explain it. You see here, if F14, that is this one, if F14 is greater than 70, that is if the mark here 64 is greater than 70, give the person A, else tell the person you have failed. So now if we do it here and we drag it down, this is telling me that this person had A, 73 had A, 55 failed, and what? Failed. So this is how grade systems are designed. So you had 70, then automatically they will tell you had A, B, or C. This is how it is designed. So let's dive deeper into this and see how we are going to do more crazy stuff like that. So now we have our students here, their names are here, we have their marks and their grades here. So we want to type the grade here. So as I showed you, this is called nested if function. So here there are a lot. So you are saying that if this grade, that is if 69 here, it is greater than 79. So you are saying that if the person gets 79 and above, then the person had A. So we are going to say that this is A. Okay. So if this grade is greater than 79, the person had A. Else, then we are going to say if the same grade is greater than, so let's say 69, right? 69. Then what are you going to say? Then the person had, let's say B. Alright. Now, what if the grade is not so? So let's say what if the grade is greater than 59 rather. 59. So 59, let's say the person had C. Alright. Now let's do another one. Let's try this. If the grade, so let me bring this bracket. If this grade 69, if this grade is greater than 49, then what do you want us to give the person? D. So now we don't want to go further. So we say else anyone who will not get D has failed. So that is it. Now when you are closing it, be careful. You are closing it one. This is going to close this first green for you. It means you are not done. Close it again. It is changing color to purple. Close it again. It changes to then until it comes to the last one. You see this. If you hit enter, I made a mistake in this. So let me check my if. Now let's check this. I think there was a comma here that I didn't bring it. So yes, it's here now. So if it's more than 79 is A. If it is more than 69, B. When it is more than 59, C. If it is more than 49, D. Else the person has failed. This is what we call what? Nested if function. So now when I hit enter, this person had C. If you want to find that for I told you, just double click on this and it's going to give us populate the grade for all the students. I will share this file with you so you look at how the function works, how we write everything here, how we write them. This is how the function is. So in our next one, we are going to talk about the lookup functions. So this is the lookup function. This function, we are going to talk about the lookup functions. Then we move on. So I want you to pay attention to the functions, okay? Look at how they work. So we are saying that if n6 is greater than 79, so when you come back to ours is not going to be n9, it's going to be what? Put it, then the name box is J5. So that is, you use just one mark as instance. So you see that if the J5 is greater than 79 here, then we are seeing that the grade is what? A. Now we do just comma. If your J5, that is this value 69, is greater than 69, we are going to give the person what? B. But in a case where the grade, that is the 69, the first instance, if Gen 5, that is 69, is greater than 59, then we give the grade what? C. So if the same value is greater than 49, we say the person at D, else fail. What this basically does is, in our educational system, you know that 80 is A, then 75 is B plus, then 70 is B, is the same thing. You just have to insert. So where is instead of this B, you can make this B as, let's say, B plus. Then you can change this C to, let's say, B. Okay. Then you can change this to, let's say C or C plus. Okay. Then if this is C plus, then you can say anyone who had low, you give the person D. And if you do enter, this is going to affect the changes. Just have to click on the first one and drag it to this line, or you can just double click it and you see that this one, okay, I didn't give any function, any. Okay, I know where the mistake is coming from, so let me fix it myself. This is supposed to be a text, okay. When you are working with Excel, make sure they always in quotes if they are not numbers. And now the problem is solved. If I do this, you see it's solved. Now we have our B plus, we have the A and the rest. Now let's look at this nice guy here. We call it XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP. Now let me show you what the XLOOKUP looks like. So now this XLOOKUP, let me even show you on the side. This is what we want to do. We want to enter our name here, right? But when we enter our name here, we want to know the marks, or let's say the grade here. Okay. So now we are going to say that, let me show you the formula so that I explain it based on that for you. The lookup function say that XLOOKUP A14. So here our A14 is going to be the search box where we are going to search the name. So here, let me copy this function and put it somewhere here. Let's go here. Now let me put it here for you to see. Now here is not A14 again. Where the name is going to be is what? 06. So you can see that here is 06. So now we are going to say that we are going to do equal to, then we do XLOOKUP, right? XLOOKUP. Search XLOOKUP. Then where are we going to enter the name? Here, you click there. So you are saying that now take whatever that you can find in 06. Take whatever thing you will find in 06, okay? Then compare what is in 06. Okay, compare what is in 06 to, so theirs is A1, A18 to A96. So we can say that we are comparing all these things, okay, to, let's say, the names. Let's compare to only the names here. I'll explain it to you. Now, what do you want to print? We want to print only their marks. So we select all their marks here. So what if the mark is not there? Then we say invalid results. Then you have to close it. Then you close the bracket as well. Hit enter. Now they're saying what? Invalid result, because there's nothing what here. In case you are confused, let me take it again for you. Now let's put something here, a name here. Let's say the first name is Eva Afre. Eva Afre. Enter. They are saying Eva had what? 69 marks, and you can see it here. Now let's pick another name. Instead of typing, let's do equal to, and let's go and select any name here. So 24 had 26. So let's select here, reference it to any name. Genevieve had what? 44. How is this working? I told you, where you want the answer to be displayed, put your cursor over there. Okay, put your cursor on that button here. Now the first one is what? 06. This 06 you can see here. It is basically, let me use this one instead of my 8, and that is here for you to understand. Okay, let me use mine here. So I think it is here. Let me put this here for you to understand. Now check this. So the first 06, which one is 06? 06 is here. That is the search box where we want to search something. So what we are saying is, look into cell 06. If there is something in cell 06, whether it's been a name or something, check if there is something inside cell 06. Compare what is in cell 06 to all the names you can see from F5 to F what? 20, F30. So compare what is in 06 here, 06, to what is in F5 to F30. Everything there, compare. Now, when you compare and the name or something can be found in the names, okay, print the mark, okay, the mark for that particular name you can find in the box here for me. So what 06 is doing is, 06 says, you know something, look here. Here my name is, you put your cursor in P, this is what, P8, and you're telling P8 that, P8, you know what, I want you to do something for me, but this is what I want you, P8, to do for me. Go to what is in 06. 06. I'm explaining it again. Go to what is in 06. Then he say, oh, 06, there's a name called Genevieve there. So, okay. Genevieve is there, right? Now, go to cell F5 to F30. F5 to F30. So, okay, F5 to F30, there are names there. Oh. He said, oh, okay, yes, I need that. Now, out of the names, all the names, check if there is a name called Genevieve. Check, then you check her and come and see, yes, there's a name called Genevieve. So, okay, if there is a name called Genevieve here, then what you have to do for me is, now, check their marks. That is from Jane 5 to Jane 30. Check the marks. And so, okay. Then I'm going to check the mark that Genevieve had. Then you go and check the marks from Jane 5 to Jane 30 to check the mark for Genevieve. After they find the mark for Genevieve, then they will come and what? Enter the mark for Genevieve here. If they don't find the mark for Genevieve, what they are going to tell you is that invalid what? Mark. So now, if you remove the name and put anything, they are going to tell you what? Invalid. This is what we call the lookup search. We are going to look at this in a more detailed way when we are actually building our system, okay? So I just want you to pay attention to this wall, watch the video over and over again, and you are going to understand it. But when you are building our system too, I will explain it again. Thank you for your audience.